This video is kind of a update on my hobby messing with locks. Saw a video of me opening this up and picking a lock, but over the years what happened was I would either lose keys or find a lock without a key and just kind of hung on to them for some reason, just to see if I could pick them later. And I've been watching, obviously, the Lock Picking Lawyer and another lock picker called Lock Noob. Pretty interesting information. Of course, my friend Tardisius, he's got mail locks, mailbag locks that he picks just for fun, and he picks other locks too. So I figured, I'll get into that hobby, just something to do. So here are the locks that I've found over the years. See, this one's pretty corroded there. Some of these locks, they got cut, and I've got a bunch of keys that go to these type of locks, but none of these keys work on any of these locks. So I figured all these keys, they fit the same locks, so you would think that one of these would work on one of these, but they don't. So but what I did was, one of the videos I saw, this guy made some lock picks out of a hacksaw blade and a Dremel tool. So that's what I did. I made some lock pick things. Yeah, this thing goes with this lock. So I made a bunch of different lock pick things. A little tension tool, a pick, an individual thing. This one actually, it might have been like the first one I made, but it is too thick, so I might thin it down. There's a tension tool. Here's a shim to pick this lock. There's what they call a snake rake. Just playing around, right? This is a what they call a top end tension tool. So here you put it on the top end and then you pick the individual pins. But with these locks so far, and the best tension tool was this one, and this wasn't even one that I planned to use or make. It was just a leftover from making the other picks, the pin picks, and so I figured, I'd use it. But this one seems to be the best tension tool for all these locks so far. And then I made a pin pick here, but it broke, so I made another pin pick, and here, that's from this saw blade here. So if you want to get into the hobby of picking locks, you don't have to buy lock picks. If you have a Dremel tool and some used hacksaw blades, try that out. And then what I'll do is I'll keep playing with these locks just to practice, and then when I get a little bit more, if I get a little bit more interested in picking locks, I might buy a true set, a good set from Covert Instruments, made by the Lock Picking Lawyer. And so let's look at how how far I've gotten with the hobby. So there, that, and they have what they call snake rakes. Well, this is a snake rake here, or city rakes. I haven't used any of those city rakes. I've just been using pin pick just to be more universal on a lot of picks versus some locks work good with snake rakes, some locks work good with the what do you call it, city rakes. But you know, I'm just starting this hobby, and again, this is a hobby. I don't carry these lock picks with me to be able to pick into locks that don't belong to me, and only pick locks that belong to you. So here we go. What I have figured out that works best for me in practice is I start with no tension. I stick the pick all the way in. Then I put tension, and then I just barely give it a little pressure in each pin. I'm not good where I can tell which pin is which, so I just go and I feel where. Oh, there's a click. There's a click. Try to see again. Not forget. There's a click. This is one of the easier ones I picked, but again, oop, there we go. Yep. So I'm not super duper professional. So there's another lock. There you go. Let's see. People who use snake rakes and city rakes, they can pick these a lot faster than just individual pin picking. But to me, this is more the basics of picking a lock. You can, when you practice, it gives you a little bit more muscle memory and a little more confidence into being able to pick a lock if a snake rake doesn't work or a city rake doesn't work. Now there are way more different picking methods. Like you can shim the lock, click, click. But right now, I like the clicking, and I'll edit to I'll edit the parts that take too long, so you don't have to watch. The lockpicking lawyer has a lot of good instructional videos. I mean, he's probably a professional. So what he shows is probably looks really easy, but it does require practice. Is this thing even locked? Yep, it's locked. Yeah, he talks about tensioning. He talks about different tools. There we go. And the thing I learned is every lock of this type, you want to tension in the opposite direction of where that little thing is pointing. So where that little notch is pointing, you want to tension it that direction. One of these locks here, it actually will open in either direction, but after watching videos, I found that it does unlock going in that direction. Brinks. Yeah, this is one of the easier ones. This one I think is one of the harder ones because it's corroded inside. I put some oil in there, but it is working. And the practice is the tension. A lot of the practice that goes into this is the tension, and the ability to feel the pins. See? And this one is the last easier one. And what you do is you try to push down the pins in order, so you can start with the far pin, pick back towards the close pin, and then go back from close to far, back and forth until you get all the pins in the right place. And then if you go back and forth at least one time and it doesn't open, let go of the tension to reset the pins. What I'm saying is probably already been said by other better lock pickers, but this is just for beginner hobbyists. Okay. And a lot of times, see, it felt like it didn't go, but then I give it a little more tension, and there it goes. And I didn't hear any click, but sometimes you can feel just barely a little bit of movement, and that's where the practice comes in, is being able to just sense very, very minute movement. Breaking into this video with this video because I forgot to pick this lock. This is a trailer hitch pin. It is super duper. It's their waffle lock. So there's waffles in there. So put my thing in there. There we go. That's so easy. I could have done it faster, but given that it's on the video, the way I hold it, it was a little tougher, but not that big a deal. I think you can actually, no, you can't shim it, but yeah, I can use this just for the pin and lock, and then if I need to unlock it, I'll just pick it because I can't find the key for it. So the hardest lock I have is this one, but a lock picking lawyer and other lock pickers show how easy it is, but I don't know if it's because the homemade picks I have are not size. I have picked it a few times, but it does take me a little bit more time to pick than these other ones. So let me try to pick it on this video, and if it doesn't pick, I'll make a video where it does pick and put it in here. But there's 4 pins in here. So the one lock picker I saw, he starts with the 4th pin. He said the easiest way he's found out is he starts with the 4th pin all the way in and then works his way back out. So let me try that. Put this all the way in. I think I tried picking this like 15 minutes last night and it didn't work. And then sometimes it'll only take me like 30 seconds to pick. But I don't know if it's just the way the tensioner is positioning or the thickness of the pick. But here we go. All right, and this one takes a lot of tension, so I'm going to put a lot of tension on it. And then what you do is you barely, you push it all the way until it stops, and then you barely, I would say 1 millimeter up to get the 4th pin. You should hear it click. See, hear it click? And then the second one is another millimeter. No click. 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 Go. Yeah, the first one seems to go in, and I think because one of the back ones isn't set right, the first one gets stuck, and that's what throws it off. So let me try to. I figured out what was wrong. The pins needed to be lubricated. They were a little sticky because they were dry, so I put a little bit of lubrication in there, some Walmart lubricating oil, and there we go. No unlockness. Alright, so all the way in, torsion, move back about 1 millimeter. See if I can get the first click. First click. Second click. Third click. That should do it. That should be it. There we go. Haha. That is how easy this is once it's lubricated. So hopefully that entertains those who might be interested in taking up the hobby of picking locks. Make sure you only pick locks that belong to you, that you own, that you don't need access to something that doesn't belong to you. Disclaimer, these are all my old... Oh, I forgot. So I'll break into this video with this video later to unpick this one. But that's it. Later.